Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are still working on The Merchant of Venice for a little while longer. We are currently in Act 3, Scene 4, and today we get to hear from Portia again. So Portia has recently gotten married to Bassanio because he chose the correct box. It was the lead box because you shouldn't judge a book or a box by its cover or exterior. But Bassanio then heard that all of Antonio's ships that he had out were shipwrecked, so Antonio is not going to be able to pay Shylock back. So Bassanio has gone to Venice to at least see Antonio before he has to forfeit a pound of flesh, if not try to help him. And Portia in this Act 3, Scene 4, is sort of putting affairs in order because she told Lorenzo and Jessica, she asked them to keep an eye on her home and her estate and all that sort of a thing. She told them that she's going to go hang out in this monastery that's a couple miles away for the duration while her husband is in Venice. So they're like, yes, cool, we'll take care of it. Thank you for trusting us. Then she turned to Balthazar and she was like, take this letter to Dr. Bellario? I'm going to forget his name right now. But anyway, to this guy who's a lawyer, actually, who she knows. And she's like, and he might give you some papers and maybe some clothes, which I want you to take to the docks, to that ship that trades with Venice, where I'll meet you. But don't ask why. And Balthazar was like, okay, cool. And Portia turns to Nerissa and she's like, okay, now we got to actually get things going. We're going to see our husbands before they know that it's us. And Nerissa's like, wait, what? They are? And Portia says, they shall, Nerissa, but in such a habit that they shall think we are accomplished. With that we lack. I'll hold thee any wager, when we are both accoutred like young men, I'll prove the prettier fellow of the two, and wear my dagger with the braver grace, and speak between the change of man and boy with a reedy voice, and turn 2 mincing steps into a manly stride, and speak a phrase like a fine bragging youth, and tell quaint lies how honorable ladies sought my love, which I, denying, they fell sick and died. I could not do withal. Then I'll repent, and wish for all that I had not killed them. And 20 of these puny lies I'll tell, that men shall swear I have discontinued school above a 12-month. I have within my mind 1,000 raw tricks of these bragging jacks, which I will practice. So what she's talking about here is that she and Nerissa are going to dress up like men and go to Venice. But she doesn't flat out say like why they're dressing up like men and going to Venice, just that they are. And then she goes on to sort of brag about how she's going to be the better looking of the men, and she studied how men walk and how they talk and what they brag about, all these sorts of things, so that she can pass as a man. Like her voice might be a little squeaky, whatever, but she's going to brag about how all the women want her and she turned them down. He turned them down, and so they died, and then he feels bad about it. And her plan is to go and try to convince all these people in Venice that she is male and has been out of school for over a year. So she theoretically knows what she's talking about, that sort of thing. And I figure she's looking at this with a sort of joy, a sort of glee. She thinks that this is going to be a fun excursion. And Nerissa is like, wait, we're gonna dress up like men? And Portia's like, yeah, what do you think I was just talking about? Come on, we gotta get to the boat where we're gonna meet Balthazar, who's gonna come back with books and clothes, and then we're gonna get on this boat and we're gonna go to Venice, and I'll tell you the whole plot along the way. So if you hadn't guessed why she might have reached out to a lawyer to get clothing that they are going to dress up in before they go to Venice, because it's not a Shakespearean play unless we have what were traditionally male actors who were dressed up as females because women weren't allowed on stage, dressed up as men, then what kind of Shakespearean comedy is it? So fun with gender roles anyway, we will see what happens when Portia and Nerissa get to Venice in disguise as men, and we still got to figure out what's happening with this whole pound of flesh thing. If you've got any thoughts on Antonio's prospects, leave them in the comment section. Cool. We'll see you tomorrow for more. Mwah.